the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence in respect to all of our first responders, military personnel, and anyone else that puts themselves in harm's way to protect us. Thank you. Okay, I need the Open Public Meetings Act statement, please.
Meeting was given by publishing notice in December 2024 edition of the Journal. This notice was also placed on the Kinnelon Boro website and sent to the North Jersey Herald Witness, the records, and posted on municipal bulletin board.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Maybe?
Here.
Councilman Brittle?
Here.
Councilman Harris? Councilman Frank?
Here.
Councilman Redford? Councilman Lewis?
Thank you. Mayor's report. Tonight we're actually live on YouTube, correct? And I want to thank Jen for her effort in getting this up and rolling. It's been a task for her to get this up and rolling. We originally, when I became mayor 7 years ago, my goal was to always have these meetings on Facebook Live to make it so where anybody can come and see our meeting. And for 7 years we had that, but through those 7 years we also had some hiccups where, it wouldn't come on and stuff. We used to have a high school kid over here, I paid him out of my own pocket $20 to come here and video. Then we had Mary, Vince's wife, come in. She was doing it. She was the best one. She was free. I had my son do it for a while, but then we also had problems with Facebook where we'd stop in the middle of a meeting or not come on or we couldn't connect. So we decided to move forward with YouTube. YouTube will be good because it'll be on our Facebook page. It will be on our Facebook page where you can click on it to get to YouTube and also on our Boro website. So you can go on there. So it'll allow everyone to be able to see our meetings. So I did tell Jen that if this didn't work today, she was terminated. So thank you, Jen. Welcome back to the Borough. You did a great job. We see that it's on. I heard by Anthony's down there that it is on. So thank you for all your hard work in making sure that happened. Tonight on our agenda, we're going to be having a resignation for the Board of Assessment Commission for David Shantos. David has a conflict of interest to be on that board. His son joined Lake Reality, and that's one of the things that they're working on right now. So David Shantos will be removed from the Board of Assessment. And also on here for appointments, I did reach out to the Board of Assessments, and they made a recommendation for Barry Costanza to be on the Board of Assessment, so he will be on your appointments tonight. I want to thank them for their hard work in trying to get a replacement for Mr. Shantos, and I did meet Barry. He came to one of our meetings. I know we were all there, and we were able to meet him. And also appointment of Michael Delamontagne to our fire department, so I'm pumped up for that. He's a little bit, I'd say he's my age, so I'm just excited for him that he joined on to the fire department. Also want to thank our football association for running the carnival. I think the carnival is a great thing that happens in Kinnelon. They did an amazing job. They made some money for the program, which is always great, and everybody in town had a great time. The only thing that scares me is we had great weather. So we got to keep our fingers crossed for K-Fest. So besides that, everything's going well in Kinnelon, and we'll move on to our council committee reports. We'll start with Public Works and Utilities, Councilman Maybe.
Thank you, Mayor. Start out first with Boro Road. American Paving Systems came in and did our first test run of micro resurfacing on Miller Road. Unfortunately, the crew that did the job really didn't meet our expectations or our standards. We received quite a few complaint phone calls that, people asking, what is this? How come it looks so rough? So on Monday, Craig Ambrosio, our borough administrator, Joe Niosi, and myself met with the salesman, pointed out the deficiencies and really, our concerns. I also informed them that I had taken a ride after the company was done resurfacing here. They went right to Jefferson. So I rode up to Jefferson to see what the quality of the work looked like there. And it was kind of like night and day. Later on that evening, the salesman called me about 8 o'clock, said he had met with the owners. The owners totally saw the pictures and the video, and they have agreed, at no charge to the taxpayer to come in and do another overlay with a little bit finer of a product. Which means ultimately, two things. We're going to correct the imperfections and, fill in any of the gaps and clean up some of the large stone. But it also is going to give us an additional 6 years of wear surface. So doing a double micro resurfacing is going to add 6 years to the longevity. So little painstaking. This is something new that we dabbled with here in Kinnelon. So we're going to hold the companies to their word that they're going to come back and do this. I know we're going to communicate with them next week because we do have to notify the residents when we go to do this, because there is a little bit of a drying process with this product that you can't drive on. So letters, Councilman Churro helped me draft a letter. We're going to be sending a letter out on Monday to all the residents of Miller Road to let them know what the situation is, and that we are going to be coming back there to try to rectify any imperfections. That's it for Miller Road. On the agenda, you see a emergency greenway and head off for the Lagoon Trail. That's the area, it's amongst the area of that East Lake section of Faison Lakes that we're dealing with the drainage project. Unfortunately, we had that one massive rainstorm back in July, and we had a section of the road that heaved. So that's what that is on the agenda tonight. If we don't fix that, the rest of the road is going to give way in another big storm, so that needs to be addressed. They had a pre-construction meeting for South Glen Road. I was not able to attend, but I know Tom Barati, our engineer, tried to push the contractor for somewhat of a realistic start time and start days. It's always hard for paving and milling contractors to kind of give the exact time, because it's related to weather and the areas in which they're working. But South Glen is going to be done shortly. We're hoping sometime mid-September, and that'll complete that project. Last thing, I received a phone call from a resident on Strong Drive. She was asking me some questions with regards to well testing and some other things, and I said, well, that's a private well, and it's not something that the municipality is engaged in. But she was speaking to me about an issue, and I recommended that she go to the Board of Health, because a lot of people don't always test their well water, and with the having septics and having different things and different other things in the ground, it is something that I would recommend to anybody that has a well every so often, periodically test your well. But she's going to take that up with Tom Cattisano, on the health officer, and the Board of Health. That's pretty much it for me, Mayor.
Good, thank you. All right, we'll move on to finance and public safety. Councilman Churno.
Thank you, Mayor. Last couple of months, weeks, the Borough completed the 2024 municipal audit. Auditors came in, they review all the financials of the municipality, purchasing, procedures, processes. They put the audit together, which we'll be accepting tonight. All is good. 1 and 1 equals 2, so we're all doing a great job. Everything went very smooth in that process. Public safety, fire company beefsteak, October 18th. It's sure to be another big success. A lot of us were there. Last year was their first event. It was a home run. So looking forward to that. If you are looking to attend, or if you have a tricky tray gift that you'd like to donate, you can contact KVFC, Kinnelon Volunteer Fire Company, KVFC Fundraising @gmail.com. Or you can just go on the Borough website and shoot me an email. Success story, it's always good. It's always good when people reach out. Had a young man reach out to me via email just to talk about his experience within the municipality. He had an issue and he had first aid police come to his need and he just wanted to say thank you to the entire municipality for the care that he was given and the testament to our police department. They followed up a couple days later and went to his house to check and see how he's doing. And those are all those success stories that you don't hear. It's what happens in this town every single day behind the scenes. I was once told that your character is measured by the things you do when no one else is looking. And no one else was looking, and he felt the need to just say thank you to the community. So it's always good when you get those success emails. Kudos to the Kinnelon Library and another successful book drive. Community news, don't forget, if you're looking to be a sponsor, we're probably looking around the late fall timeframe for another newsletter to come out, hopefully. So if you are looking to be a sponsor, you can reach out to any member of the governing body and we can go over that with you. And lastly, BPW, wow, that's all I can say. All I can say is wow, you know, you go over there and I never thought I'd be so happy to go to a garbage recycling center in my entire life. But what happened over there was a little idea that grew into an amazing transformation. Mount Cardboard is gone. And that's to the thanks of Councilman Maybe and Sean Iosi for really taking a look at our needs, utilizing grant funds that we get, and just wanted to say thank you to all the hard work that they put into that. So thank you. That's it.
Okay. Make sure you say something. I know you probably already have, but to Jen Stillman and Craig and Karen for the great job on the budgets.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the audit, I apologize.
Yeah, it's 2 seconds. So I didn't want to go into too much, but you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes when it comes to the financial standings of our community. We have a borough administrator, we have a clerk, we have a CFO, we have a municipal auditor, we have a QPA. A QPA is a qualified purchasing agent who has a state license, has to go through everything we do with a fine-tooth comb to make sure we're abiding by all the rules and regulations. And everybody does such an outstanding job. And the way I look at it is there's also 7 members of the community that have the last look at all the bills that get paid, and that's the 7 of us right up here. We get a bills list every single month. We review it, and then we ask questions, or we ultimately make the decisions to pay the bills. So by the time it comes to us, it is thoroughly vetted because of the outstanding work of our professionals. So thank you for reminding me, and thank you to everybody that puts in the hard work within the community.
You're welcome. Okay, we'll move on to ordinance. Council President Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. We're chipping away at the list of ordinances that we've got with the help of Brian Giblin. Most of the heavy lifting obviously is being done by Brian. Tonight, we're going to be voting on an ordinance number 14/2025 that prohibits the overnight parking of detached trailers on public streets or in the public right of way. That's something that we found that we've been having a problem with. Make sure everybody hears. And so we addressed that, and with the help of our chief of police. So the next ordinance we're going to be introducing tonight is ordinance 15/2025, which amends the existing borough code. And this amendment prohibits parking in the cul-de-sac at the end of Seabrook Drive. It was determined that the number of vehicles and the manner in which they were being parked often created a hazard, especially for emergency vehicles that were coming into that area if they needed to come into that area. So this is our response to that issue. I'd also like to address the memorial, the Veterans Memorial, Veterans and First Responders Memorial. And I'd like to say a little bit about the progress and also dispel some of the misinformation that has been going around. You may have noticed when you came in, if you came in through the front, that the paver circle has been pretty much completed. They still have to do some edging on it to secure the stones, but it is pretty much done, and I personally think it looks really sharp. We've had a couple people, a couple residents comment on it that have been to the borough and seen it, and they are impressed by the cleanness of the whole operation. I just want to mention something about the cost of the project. The project cost of the memorial the council voted on and approved to be built on the site of the existing memorial was $39,500, and that is to be funded by donations. A later addition of 3 bronze statues and a bronze EMT bag was discussed by council, but it was decided by the majority that it would be better to wait and see whether there was public interest and how fundraising was going before we revisited the idea and decided whether or not we wanted to move forward with that. So as of now, the only part of the memorial that's being done is the what you see in the advertisement basically that we put out,
Which is the 39,000.
39,500.
How much is raised so far on that?
I don't have an exact figure because one of the great things is that the fundraising project that we've been doing with the brick pavers has started to pick up. Now that work is being done out there in the green, people are seeing that the old memorial was taken down and that something new is going up. So it's generating some interest. And the last time I checked, the amount of money that's been put toward the new memorial was just shy of 22,000, but I think as of today, it's gone over 22,000 because we had another donation, another purchase made of 2 bricks. So we're slowly moving up.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, okay, sure. I just do a few other things. So at the last mayor and council meeting, a question about the origin of the memorial was brought up, and we wanted to find that out. It was said that it was a possibility that the existing memorial was an Eagle Scout project, and so we really wanted to find that. So I, not being a great researcher myself, asked a professional researcher that we have that works for the borough as a borough historian, Tom Klein, if he would look into that and see if he could come up with some of the information so that we could really find out who built the memorial, how it was funded, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to do some highlights from Tom's report, and then hopefully Tom, especially if I say something that's erroneous, he'll correct me in the public, or if you like to come to the table, you could, Tom, I guess, or I shouldn't wait till the public.
No, you can.
Tom, if you want to come up while I'm saying, and you can do a little bit too, you can join me in this. So, prior to the newest design that we're pursuing right now, there have been 3 previous iterations of the Veterans Memorial on the site out there here at Borough Hall. The first was built in 1968, if I'm correct on that date, by the J.C.'s, funded by the local J.C.'s. It was a semicircular brick height bench that was put on the Borough Hall side of the flagpole. And at that same time, 2 plaques were put on it. One plaque was put on by the J.C.'s and basically honoring all veterans, if I'm correct in that. And then another plaque was added that was funded by the VFW, and it listed the service members from World War II that had fallen in action. And that was the extent of the memorial at that point. A little later, either at the end of 1968 or at the beginning of 1969, another bench height semicircular arc was added, also brick. And Tom was not able to find out whether or not that arch was built by, how it was funded. So if there was an Eagle Scout project that was undertaken and that resulted in an addition to the memorial, that we believe might have possibly been that project. And in 2001, the borough had a second story added to it. Borough Hall had a second story added to it, and at that time, those two memorial arcs were taken down. The plaques that were on there, and I believe some other plaques had been added by that time. Some medallions had been added. However, everything was taken off of that, and those two arcs were demolished. At that time, a change order was made to the construction bid process to build another memorial. So the borough authorized $15,000 to build the L-shaped wall that was put out there. And they later approved, or possibly at the same time, approved another $1,700 to do landscaping. So the total of the monies allocated by the borough to build that L-shaped wall out there was $16,700, and to make it look nice with landscaping. If you translate that into 2025 dollars, that's actually, and I used a Federal Reserve Bank inflation calculator to find out this figure, but in 2025 dollars, $15,000 or $16,700 from 2001 actually equals $30,394.95. So it was a sizable investment back in 2001 to honor, to replace the memorial that was taken down by the borough, and then honor the fallen. One thing that they didn't do is that they didn't add all the other names of the fallen from other wars. We still only had veterans from Bloomingdale, Butler, and Kinnelon listed from World War II, and eventually the name of Specialist Jonathan Batista was added after his death, untimely death. But there are at least 5 other names that were not included on that memorial. So it's hopes that not hopes, but we're planning on representing those names as well. And that's all I have. Tom, if you have something else to add to enlighten us. I mean, you had, and I'd like to actually put it on the borough website if we could.
Yes,
Your research was so in-depth. We have articles, we have information, we have photographs of all this stuff. So the history, if anyone's really interested in the history, I know I am, but if you would permit us to put that on the borough website, I would love to. Okay, so.
I am an investigator, that's what I do.
Well, no kidding.
But I think, Eric, that for myself, my own perspective on the project, I think the most important thing to me is that we consolidate and honor all of the people in one spot. And that we don't have a Korean War veteran have a little tablet on the smoke rise flagpole going out the north gate that nobody knows is there except me. And or a couple of Vietnam veterans that are honored at the high school. It's best to have them all in one spot. So good luck with your project.
Thank you.
If you have anything else that needs investigating, let me know.
I actually do have another project, but I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Maybe next month.
Give me a week.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Best of luck to all of you.
And that's the end of my report here. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to personnel. Councilwoman Frank.
Thanks, Mayor. For personnel, I wish to welcome Andrew Galligan to the DPW team. Andrew brings a wealth of experience from his time in nearby Franklin Lakes. He's also a lifelong Kinnelon resident, and his experience and professionalism will be a great addition to the DPW. Also want to acknowledge the ordinance that will be introduced tonight to do with the Seabird Lane. These residents have been extremely patient and helpful in working with the council to find a solution to their complaint. Also wish to thank Chief Joe for working with all of us here on the council to come up with a solution that's appropriate. And that's it.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to OEM and coordinating. Councilman Reckler.
Good evening, everyone. Tomorrow is Friday. On Friday, I ask everyone if they'd be so kind to wear red. red equals remember everyone deployed. So we've always break out the first responders and the military, but the people overseas working. So I've got one of these bracelets. They're sold through the VFW if anyone's interested, and I'll always mention the red. Library book sale went well. Bill Sachs, Force of Nature. Thank you for doing that. Great job. Florida Health didn't have a meeting this month. It's been a quiet summer. They're going to come back. And then finally, for OEM, I'm going to work with the council. Unfortunately, right now our budget is $200. That's OEM is one of the 4 pillars of our public safety, often overlooked, but we did I rewrote the emergency operations plan. I'm getting with the chief to validate that for the police. Then with the fire department, I'll get with them and back down to the state. So we will have a brand new program in Kinnelon starting soon. We're on that next month, but just I wanted to leave with the 4th pillar of our public safety is an important one. So OEM. So we'll expect to hear more from that next month. That's all I have.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the previous OEM coordinator never asked for money, so it's something where I guess the council will definitely listen and make sure that it's corrected. All right, we'll move on to the public hearing. Oh, wow, I forgot Bob. Sorry. This man's son is getting married on Saturday, so I'd like to say congratulations to Bobby. And he's getting married in Tuxedo, New York, right, over up there, and I'm excited for him and his wife. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.
So, I'll move on to recreation and open space, Councilman Lewis.
Thank you, Mayor.
With an apology.
Thank you for the wishes there, appreciate that. Start with the library. Again, it's already been mentioned, but thank you to everyone who participated in the Friends of the Library book and media sale. Again, thanks to all who made donations and purchased items. It was a hugely successful event that is held every year and very important to our library. And I also want to mention the summer reading program that they have there for the kids. I want to tout that a little bit. They had 404 participants, so this is it's a 78% increase from the prior year, and it's just something that seems to be growing here in town. I do have someone did send me they put out a survey, and somebody wrote, "Thank you for this amazing summer of special programming. We love our library and all your efforts to bring relevant, engaging activities in for our family. Continue the great work. We appreciate everything you do. How lucky we are to have this amazing people in place." So, we're doing a lot of good things in here, recreation-wise, library-wise, so it's really important for the town. So that's that on that. So K Cares. K Cares, again, with the help from Vince, got it going. It almost died here on Vine, but it's up and running. Recently helped out with the funds for the PBA for some shirts that were needed, as well as collaboration for some funds with the special needs here in town. So it's not a lot of money, but we're working it. I know the mayor didn't want to see that die, so we're not going to let it. K-Fest, it's in full stream. We're working for the best ever event. Reminder, the date is September 27th for a full day of fun and fireworks as we celebrate Kinnelon. The food pantry. So again, we're putting the food pantry back on the map. Again, it's located at the Church of Nazarene, down in Butler. It is called the Kinnelon Food Pantry. And I got a text just today from Pastor Chuck, and he just wanted me to mention some of the items. He says it's been a big help. It looks like just us mentioning it. A lot of people are making the trip down there to donate stuff, and this is from him today that he's looking for hamburger helper, pasta, oatmeal, rice, instant mashed potatoes, peanut butter, oil, mayonnaise, canned tomatoes, coffee, tea, canned beans, ramen, shampoo, and conditioner. So big thanks from Pastor Chuck, and let's keep that going. Recreation. We just concluded another successful summer camp. Hats off to Melanie Shuckers and her staff. The campus continued to grow here every year, has become a town favorite with the parents and kids. They did a great job. The pickleball courts, the new ones are open and are being used. They're getting a lot of use, and everyone's been very good about the court time and working well to make sure everyone gets on and off the courts. There's been no issues. It's been great. The new wrestling mats have arrived for the upcoming season. They were delivered last week. They were purchased with 100% grant money and will be a big boost for the program. Fall sports are underway as they look to start their season shortly after Labor Day. That's all I have, Mayor.
I have two confessions, Councilman. One is I played pickleball for the first time at our court, and I cannot run and bend at the same time. So I'm learning how to play pickleball. And when I was a kid, I used to see that summer reading program, and I just prayed my mother never saw it. So I did make it through growing up in Cedar Grove with never doing the summer reading program. So, but I know the library is amazing with that and is really doing a great job. So thanks for reporting that. All right, we'll move on. I didn't forget anybody, correct? Karen, you don't have a report over there? Welcome up top here. All right, we're gonna move on to public hearing. The public hearing, we need you to come up. You address your comments to the mayor. Moving forward from this point on, everybody will have 5 minutes. Would anybody from the public like to be heard?
Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Ed Moore, 48 Temple Road. I'm really glad to hear that, that now we're going to have Facebook, or not actually YouTube, because, like Jim, like you said, difficulty with Facebook. A lot of the meetings in the past, I had a hard time hearing it. Even when I went online, I couldn't hear like what people were saying. So I hope that it's going to be very clear so that people can really hear these meetings at home. And I think YouTube is going to probably be.
I think so, I hope so.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Another thing I just want to bring back to the forefront is the height restrictions in Kinnelon. We talked about this, and in Meadtown, there's a possible project that's going to come into behind the Kinnelon Sports Club, and there was some discussion about the height restrictions that we have, and we talked about this on a previous council meeting. We want to, I think it's not quite called 2 stories, but it's 36 feet or 39 feet as far as the height restrictions. In Kinnelon, that's going to be a planning board issue, and then we were talking about this at the council meeting. We said, well, who makes the final decision if that thing's going to be changed? Well, it'll be the council. So I just want to bring to your attention that I think that that height restriction needs to stay where it is, and there shouldn't be any changes or variances to it, because if there is, you all know that there's going to be several other projects coming in Kinnelon. There's going to be a project coming probably behind Stop and Shop. There's going to be a project that's going to be behind Bed Bath and Beyond, and then the one behind in Meadtown. So let's do our best to make sure that we keep these restrictions, because we want to see high-rise buildings. Once they go past and do a variance on that, other builders can take advantage of it. The last thing, I was confused a little bit on the memorial, because the first thing I heard about the memorial was that it was $220,000. I don't know. I wasn't at that meeting, and I thought it passed, and I thought the cost was $220,000. So I don't have any questions at this point. But then I heard today that it's going to be $39,000. So I'm confused, so I'm not really quite sure. So I guess then I could finally then ask a question. My question would be, is it $39,000? Is it $220,000? Is it the phase that's going to go in? I do know that the VFW and the American Legion weren't too keen on this, taking down what was before. So what is it? Is it 39,000? Is it 20,000? What is the council? The people that voted for it in the council, what?
The only thing that was voted on and approved is 39,000.
39,500.
Okay. Where did 220,000?
That's the entire project if we move to the second stage.
And that's actually,
And that's
was a
the-
projection, can I just throw this in? 'Cause and I'm sorry, if you permit me, is it?
No,
Okay. So it was initially, so you have to do research to do these things. And so the initial research was the possibility that it might cost 245,000 in total. As numbers are revised and new vendors are looked into, those numbers have come down. But when council was talking about this and when it was broached, the only thing that council as a majority approved was the initial 39.5. So that, and doing what's being assembled out there. And as, I don't know if you were listening when I made my comments, what I said was that a later addition of 3 bronze statues and a bronze EMT bag was discussed by council, and it was decided by the majority that we would wait and see what the public interest was, okay?
That's a great idea. And actually, when, are you done?
Could I finish my sentence?
No, please.
Okay, and how fundraising was going. So, in other words, if we say we're interested in doing this memorial and we don't get not public funds, but get donated funds, because the point was that we were going to do this on donations, so not going to be spending taxpayer money. We're going to be doing donations. Anyway, and if there was no interest or little interest or only enough interest to do the first iteration of the project, then we would stop.
Okay, good. I was confused. I thought that the council had voted that the taxpayer funds that was going to go build $220,000. That's what I thought. Just confused. And when I look at the rendering, I'm looking at it saying that's not $30,000. Definitely way more.
You got to be a bargain shopper, and you got to get people. You got to get people that are willing to donate their time. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it seemed like it. So, okay, well, just I'm glad you cleared up the confusion. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public like to be heard?
Good evening, Brian Juncosa. I would like to speak a little bit about the memorial. And for someone that has stood there saluting the flag, raising the flag during the Memorial Day ceremonies, and having chunks of brick underfoot, and looking at the dilapidated condition of that memorial, this rendering price that we're doing it for is exceptional. And I think it looks wonderful. It'll be great for the community. I'm discouraged by hearing, reading on social media, disparaging comments about the board, that there's bidding inconsistencies. You cleared it up perfectly, that this is donated funds, this is not taxpayer funds. And I think, the people that are making those remarks should be ashamed of themselves. This is a beautiful memorial, and we'd be proud to have a ceremony this year.
Anyone else from the public like to be heard? Just come forward.
For the sake of clarification, which are the bricks?
The bricks are $150 a piece.
Thank you.
You are.
And thank you for your donation. I think I saw your name on the donation. Is that correct, or your committee? Or...
I'm not really.
Okay. 75. All right, well, thank you. We'll now close it to the public, bring it back to the payment of bills. Everyone had the opportunity to look at the bills, question anything to Craig or Karen if they had any questions. Do I have a motion to approve payment of bills?
Second.
Any roll call, please?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. We have the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled before we vote on proclamation A through raffle license for Kinnelon High School Home and School Association.
Did we run out of letters? What happened?
Yeah, well, they're licenses, they're not resolutions.
Sure.
Okay, hearing none, I need a motion to approve A through the raffle license and
Make a motion.
including the proclamation for Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Make a motion.
Second? Yes. Okay, I need a roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Okay, now we need a payment of school tax, which is 70% of our taxes or more, $3,510,791 payable to the Board of Ed. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
A second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Okay, I need the treasurer's report, please.
Receipts for the month of July total $3,332,010.11. With disbursements amounting to $5,477,375.19. The new balance on hand, July 31st, 2025, was $8,679,477.
Thank you. Karen, can you please have the tax collector and investment officer's report?
Tax collector's report during the month of July 2025, the tax collector's office processed a total of $2,795,507.79. And this officer's report, a total of $36,080.02 was earned in interest for the month of July 2020.
Which is ordinance 1425. It's an ordinance to add a new section 8410.1, the code of the Borough of Kinnelon, to prohibit the parking of any detached trailer, no trailers in Kinnelon. So a detached trailer on any street within the Borough of Kinnelon. This ordinance was introduced last at our meeting held on June 19th, 2025. The proper notice was published as required by law. A copy was posted on municipal building bulletin board and additional copies are made available to the public. This meeting is now open to anyone who would like to speak on ordinance 14-2025. Okay, I will now close the meeting to the public, hearing none, and bring it back to the dais. Does anyone on the council wish to speak at this time? Motion to adopt ordinance 14-2025.
Make a motion.
I need a second.
Second.
A roll call, please.
Councilman Maine,
Yes.
Councilman Churlill,
Yes.
Councilman Hurd,
Yes.
Councilman Frank,
Yes.
Councilman Reckler,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on to ordinance, new business. We're moving on to ordinance number 15-2025. It's an ordinance to amend chapter 84, section 84-29, schedule 1 of the code of the Borough of Kinnelon, entitled Schedule 1, No Parking. I need a motion to introduce.
Make a motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Okay, whereas the above ordinance was introduced at this meeting held on August 21st, 2025, and read by title and passed on first reading. Now therefore be it resolved that the regular meeting to be held on September 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. prevailing time at the Kinnelon Municipal Building, this council further consider for second reading and final passage of the said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the borough clerk of this borough is hereby directed to publish the proper notice thereof. All right, we have appointments today. We have firefighter Michael Delamontagne and Board of Assessment Commissioners Barry Costanza. Do I have a motion to approve those appointments?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Okay. And then we have a resignation. We had a Board of Assessment Commissioner, David Shantos, is resigning from the Board of Assessment Commission due to conflict of interest. Do I have a motion to accept his resignation?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Thank you. Anybody else, anything else to bring up? Otherwise, we're gonna close this meeting. Hearing none, we need a Glenn Cisco motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is over. Go Colts.